Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to IRC. And thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across this Palestinian woman's video. I mean, she has been living in US for the past 6 years, and she's from Iraq, right? She is on free education. And this young lady is on free education in the United States, and she is actually out here calling Black people illiterate, not educated, right? And she went for that to say that she has lived here for 6 years, so she understands most of the laws that are affecting Black people, and Black people do not know it. It's really amazing. I mean, they also came out to say that African Americans are privileged, and that the truth is that the descendant of slavery do not have any privilege and or other choices than to be complicit because we are also displaced. And that is how it is. Black people are also displaced. Black people do not have that privilege that they think that we have because they feel like we have all the power to come out and speak on their behalf and everything starts happening. That is not true. And the truth is that they keep making more videos because like each day we wake up, we are seeing more videos about how privileged and complicit Black people are when their own grievances are with white people. And I think that they should channel their grievances to them and see how that works out for them. Or also they should channel their grievances towards Iraq and other people or their own even community. You know what? Let's get into this.
Do, particularly those who've never been to America and have never lived a day in the average American.
Hi, Jordy. I just saw your response to Rasul's take, and you seemed very offended by it, and I'm just curious as to why. I think you missed the whole point of what she was talking about, and you focused solely on just the race aspect. She's talking about Americans, and then you go off to say, like, if you don't live in America, you don't know the lived experience. Okay, I'm Iraqi. I came to America 6 years ago solely for just education because that's the least y'all could do to, I don't know, give me some sort of compensation for displacing my family, displacing me, displacing millions of others from my homeland. So the least y'all could do is give me education. And with my time being in America, I've been affected both by Republican and Democratic policies. And I am not a US citizen. I cannot vote. So unfortunately, whoever you bring into office, I'm affected, and millions of others that are not citizens in this country are also affected. And in my time in Iraq during the American occupation in my land, I saw all sorts of races with the American flag and a camouflage and boots entering into our home uninvited all the fucking time. And when I came to America and I started learning more about the systems and how you guys operate and why people join the military, I found out that the government coerces you to join the military, especially those that are in low-income areas, to join the military in order to have some sort of socioeconomic condition better for them, whether it's school, whether it's finances or healthcare. So basically, you guys join the military to kill my people, displace our people, in order to have school healthcare. And I can also remember a time where Obama, during the Obama administration, although he pulled out of Iraq, he then invaded Syria, continued Afghanistan, invaded Libya, and Yemen. And the list goes on. So Jordy, I just want to tell you that you're very privileged to say all these things. While we both live in America, we have both different lived experiences. While you're an American citizen, I'm not. And I've suffered a lot through the administration, through the Republican administration and the Democratic administration. And I can solely tell you right now, it still affects my life. On October 8th of 2023, my parents were banned from entering the US for 5 years just because their passport says they were born in Iraq. And for context, my parents have came to the US at least 5 times to visit me, their daughter. Now I cannot see them anymore, and it is very hard to travel back and forth to go see them. And this is all thanks to the leaders that you elect and the way that you guys don't even look at the policies that they enact. I can clearly remember back in 2020, the talking point was, oh, Trump is going to ban all these immigrants. Trump is going to cage all these immigrants. You guys don't even understand that Biden actually took that policy that Trump put in and continued it. Now the talking point is back again to Trump. Oh, he's going to be a dictator. He's going to be a dictator. While not even understanding that both parties are dictators. One has a smile on their face and one doesn't. And if you want to speak about the Black community here in America, please learn about the Deadly Exchange program. This is the same program that is killing innocent Black and brown people here in America. And while you're totally offended by her saying that Americans are complicit, I can't agree anymore because you are all complicit. I don't know what to tell you. If that offends you, please see the bigger picture, Jordy. And did you even take a look at her profile? Did you even take a look at what she does on her Instagram? Jordy, she has raised mutual aid. She has helped refugees that are displaced in her community find homes. Jordy, she is a displaced person herself. I am a displaced person myself. My family are displaced people themselves. So this whole take of you have to be in America to actually know the lived experience, I'm here and I'm telling you it. I'm literally telling you it. My parents are banned from entering this goddamn country. You probably don't even know this, but after October 7th, the Biden administration, the Biden and Harris administration did a last minute immigration policy change. So anyone from the SWANA region, even if their birth of place coming in, even if they are a dual citizen, their birth of place from the SWANA region coming into America, they are on an automatic ban and suspicion. Literally, my parents were detained for 13 hours. 13 hours under the suspicion of terrorism. And all they had in their luggage was gifts for me to congratulate me on just graduating from my Master's of Architecture. I think you missed the whole point of what she was talking about, and you focus solely on just the race aspect. She's talking about Americans. And then you go off to say, like, if you don't live in America, you don't know lived experience. Okay, I'm Iraqi. I came to America 6 years ago. And with my time being in America, I've been affected both by Republican and Democratic policies. So, Jordy, I just want to tell you that you're very privileged to say all these things. While we both live in America, we have both different lived experiences. While you're an American citizen, I'm not. And I've suffered a lot through the administration, through the Republican administration and the Democratic administration. And this is all thanks to the leaders that you elect and the way that you guys don't even look at the policies that they enact. You guys don't even understand that Biden actually took that policy that Trump put in and continued it. Now the talking point is back again to Trump. Oh, he's going to be a dictator. He's going to be a dictator. While not even understanding that both parties are dictators. And if you want to speak about the Black community here in America, please learn about the Deadly Exchange program. This is the same program that is killing innocent Black and brown people here in America. And more because you are all complicit. I don't know what to tell you. If that offends you, please see the bigger picture, Jordy.
Okay, I'm going to try and tell this story as quickly as possible. So, number one, there was this creator by the name of Wh0 who put out a video where she's screaming and hollering and crying into the camera. And she's telling us just how sick she is of African Americans who are calling out pro-Palestinians for their anti-blackness right now on this app. She's really sick of us not understanding that we are all America. We are part of America, even if we see ourselves as a minority within the United States that has a different claim on how we live here than other Americans. She doesn't see it. She doesn't care about it. She's tired of hearing about it. We are all complicit. She saw people that look like us, including African Americans, wearing the American uniform and doing bad things to people in other parts of the world. Okay, so then Jordy enters the chat. He's the one who makes the second video, and he starts with empathy. He says, I am so sorry that you are hurting, and I just want you to know that it could really come off as very insulting, the way that you are talking to us, like saying things that we're so whack, we're so stupid, she's sick and tired of us and all that. He just basically says that can come off as really dismissive of our own struggle that we are fighting with. And our own struggle includes things like the fact that within 20 years, we're estimated to have a net worth of 0 as a people in the United States. So we are actually racing towards re-enslaving ourselves in the United States. And that's because of policies. So then this young lady enters the chat. She's in the country right now. She's in the United States. And she says, well, you can't talk to me like I'm not in the United States and I don't understand because I've been here for 6 years. And in those 6 years, she's been getting a free education from the United States because of our policies. Now, that policy is predicated on the fact that she's Iraqi and in her country, the United States did bad things. And as kind of a payoff, they are giving them education for free in a country where African Americans are walking around with a disproportionate amount of college loan debt, which is actually impacting our wealth and our ability to have the standing in the country that we've been fighting for forever. So it's one of many policies that inform our portfolio of laws and policies that we care about that would make life different for us, make a material difference for us in our lives. The real kind of thing that rubbed me the wrong way about her approach and her attack is she had the same thing that I'm getting used to hearing now. It is the white adjacent pro-Palestinian anti-black voice. And in this voice, they talk from up here at you, down at you, and they look down their nose to tell you how uneducated you are, how ignorant. She starts by saying, Jordy, you missed the whole point. Well, you got to be pretty stupid to miss the whole point of a video that he just made a response to, showing his level of intelligence that he didn't miss the point. But anyways, she goes on to say, you vote for people that you don't even know what their policies are. You vote for people and you don't even read the policies that they have. And oh, by the way, if it's so much about blackness, why don't you look into these programs that I know about that you don't know about that are actually harming black people more than anyone else? So this is so tiring, because we had a whole ass thing called the Black Lives Matter movement that raised awareness among all communities globally, not just in the United States, to come here and pretend, number one, like we're not special. We don't have any additional claim on our standing within the United States that makes us different than the other Americans. You would have had to be pretty stupid to not pay attention to the last 8 years or so of our global organizing and our movement that even came to Palestine. Right? So you're missing the boat if you think, well, all Americans are the same. You're just all complicit and whatnot. You missed this whole thing called the Black Lives Matter movement. And I don't know how you did that. It actually would take talent to have missed that, because it was global and it was all around the world. And it was coalitional. It was not screaming at each other on TikTok. Which brings me to my real point, because I don't want to just keep ranting about these white adjacent, pro-Palestinian, anti-black voices that are ringing out in our ears because so many of these stupid TikToks are being made. I just want to make one point, and that is, in the last year, Americans have learned the most that they have ever known about the relationship between Palestine and Israel. And that is because this platform has served an educational purpose. It has educated, quickly, rapidly educated, the largest number of people on a really important issue than I've ever seen in my lifetime. That and some of the reporting in legacy media have done a really good job, no matter where you stand on the issue, of making sure that your world fund of information about it is much bigger than it's ever been. And because of that, there has been an incredible amount of empathy that quickly has developed for Palestine that we have not seen, I think, in my lifetime, and I'm old enough to say that's a long time. The level of empathy and understanding and advocacy and activism is huge, and it's so much of a problem with this particular platform that they want to outlaw TikTok. That's how good the education actually worked. So when I think about that, it would be a shame to start putting educational content into the world that decreases empathy and actually increases antipathy. And that's what I think you don't understand. That's what you are doing, and Wh0 is doing, and Maya is doing, and keep going down the list of the number of you white adjacent, pro-Palestinian, anti-black people. This is what you are doing. You are reversing the education. You are decreasing empathy and increasing antipathy or apathy. And both of those things are stupid organizing tactics, and they are just so kind of emotive and emotional and stupid. That's the only thing I can say about them. And I'll end with this. Black people, now I'm just talking to you. When you hear these people and you hear their voices, what you should hear is the ring of what we have heard in every group that has ever colonized us, sold us, and bought us, and enslaved us, and did bad things to us. You've heard this voice before. The voice that tells us that we are stupid, that we don't understand, that we're an inferior status people, that we just don't get the most important things in life. We should recognize that voice. And then when we're talking to white adjacent, anti-black, pro-Palestinian folks, what we should remind them of is the Arab world actually did all that shit to us too. And there's this place called Africa where the Arab world did all kinds of crazy shit to us and still are, by the way. As a matter of fact, there's still an African slave trade that is Arab driven right now. And if we talk about places like Sudan or whatever, man, maybe we should become as educated about who is actually doing us in Sudan. See, we are not a domestic people. We are a global people. And in every world, the Arab world, the Asian world, and the European world, anti-blackness is rife to the point where it has marginalized us to the bottom. We're in the bottom of the Arab world, we're in the bottom of the Israeli world, we're in the bottom of the European world, and we're in the bottom of the Asian world. So we have a collective interest in listening out for this voice that she's using, that all of these people are using, and making sure that we remember to educate ourselves on ourselves first. Right? It's one thing I love, Jordy. I love the fact that he started this with empathy, and you see how his empathy was treated, how it was handled. It was handled by yet another person coming to tell him how dumb he is. And that is because it is part of their culture to hate black people. And that is something maybe we should just become a little bit more educated about.
The discord being sown on this app is giving major CIA inside job vibes. There's nothing more threatening to empire than black, brown, Jewish, trans, all the things, solidarity. Building coalition is our only path toward collective liberation. There's a lot of work ahead. Please don't get distracted. The discord being sown on this app is giving major CIA inside job vibes.
The CIA wouldn't have anything to psyops with if it wasn't there. Okay? It's the anti-blackness that's there, that's not being addressed, that's not being handled, deconstructed, dismantled, is there. So the CIA has something to utilize, the psyops. And it's not up to black people to address that. It's up to y'all. And calling out the CIA without addressing your community, giving them something to psyops with, is literally counterproductive. Because if we're supposed to be fighting a common enemy, right, that's harming people, and there's people in your faction punching black people, how can we fight effectively? The anti-blackness is harming us. So how can we fight against this common enemy if the same time I'm punching, you punching, but you punching me in my arm? Can my arm work effectively to punch the enemy? No. So if you want to effectively fight, you're going to have to convince the people in your camp to stop punching black people with the anti-blackness, okay? That's how that works. And then when you address that shit, the CIA don't got nothing to psyops with. And this whole transactional shit, people keep talking about, oh, it's not transactional, it's not transactional. Asking somebody to stop hitting you with shit, stop doing something harmful to you, is not a transaction, okay? Saying, hey, I can't fight effectively if you throw anti-blackness at me. If you hit me, I can't fight. I can't fully fight. If there's people in your faction that's hitting me, you need to gather the people that are hitting so that we can effectively fight. It's simple as that. It's not a transaction to say, hey, stop striking me with anti-blackness. I need to fight effectively. If you want me to fight effectively, unless you don't want to, what do you want? You want to gain your liberation while you're still stepping on black people. It's not going to work. Gather the people in your camp that has anti-blackness, and then we can fight effectively. And the CIA will have nothing to eat to psyops anything.
So this is all I got from this video, and I am not sure, I am very sure that black people already know how anti-black most of them are, especially not just Palestinians. All of them are all like the same family group to the Arab world and all of that. They do not appreciate people that look like me, right? And I am also going to ask this young lady, what does everything she said had got to do with black Americans or black people? Or what do they have to do with, like, all of this? Black people are like 13% of the population, if I am not mistaken. Why are they yelling black people's name? That is something that I really want to do, right? Why is it that they are not calling other people, colored and Asians, Hispanic? Why are they not calling them? How come it is only black people that they have placed their destiny on? She said she has known a lot of our law, she's been in America for how many years? Absolutely 6 years, if I am not mistaken. So she also knows some laws and some things that affect black people that black people do not know. Now, let me tell you something. The truth is that sometimes, Black people's goodness will absolutely put them in trouble, because this is also one of it. If Black people had locked up during the period that whatever broke the fighting started and all that, I am sure all this wouldn't have happened. And the truth is that a lot of us saw this ahead of time. So many people told me this is not our fight. Let's forget it and focus on Congo and Sudan and other people. I thought it was one of those jokes. But like I said, I try as much as I can to listen to Black women, because they have never, most of the things they say, not the majority, absolutely come to pass, right? So you all absolutely told me that. And when you told me that, I withdrew, because I was actually making a lot of content. I withdrew, right? Then I started posting more of Congo. And then I also saw Sister Tabitha. I always talk about her all the time. Sister Tabitha, so many of them, Woke Gardener, and I think straight facts, no chase. So many of them withdrew. And I knew it must really be something serious. And then before I could say Jack again, they said we have to focus on what is happening because election is coming. I was like, okay, not knowing like after how many months this is going to be Black people's story. Now, I am going to say this. These are the people, okay, she said that she is schooling for free, right? And most of the things that pay their school fees, like it's also Black people's tax money, right? And now she has the gut. Okay, now people that are from other countries are coming into your space to have free education. But people, my own people, Black people have so many thousands and thousands of dollars on school loan. They don't get it free. And now she is saying that some of, or majority of us are uneducated. I got it. She said that Jordy, if you all remember, I have also put the Jordy is the first guy from the video, right? The first stitch is the same. That is Jordy, right? And she said that Jordy focused on the race aspect, and she's talking about America. George did not focus just on the race aspect, because the Russell, if you all remember, the Russell is also the same girl that came out to say that Black people should sacrifice themselves for them. That is Russell. Russell started it on race. Jordy picked it up from where she started, because it was Jordy being empath, he also empathized with them, that he sees what they are going through. But nevertheless, they are not going to give up anything for anybody. And I absolutely support that. The truth that this really shows you how people can switch up on people within a twinkle of an eye. The fact that Black people have been they have been on this for how many days on a roll. Black people this, Black people that. I do not see them calling Asians. I do not see them calling Hispanics. I do not see them calling Arabs, their own people, Arabs. I do not also see them, right, calling white people. It's just only Black people. How many population in the United States? And she went further to say that my own people joined the military just to come and do some certain things to them in their own home country. Now, I am going to see some people are going to be like, you are being, no, I am not being me. Because you can't come out every minute, every day to look for Black people's problem, called insult, like denigrate them at the same time. I am not, you are always like, I am not going to come to your level and all that. But it has, now recently, it has always been, if you go low, I go lower, right? If you think that where you are is not serving you at this point in time, like you said, you've been there for 6 years and you haven't seen your parents, right? Because they are probably on ban and all that. Why not go back home? Why not go back home and see your parents? Why not go back home and stay back home? If Black people's, probably if their choice is affecting you, right? You can choose to go back home. What about that? I am not sure this is the wrong advice. I think it's a good advice because you cannot see on people's wealth or people's lessons and think your own blessings are going to come. They won't come. So you are going to choose one. Either you keep quiet and stay back, or you go back home and continue the fight. Because I don't see any of you coming out even to post anything that concerns my own people. Where you all are always too quick to come out to scream, yeah, that. Man, I am really tired of them. And the offense that we committed is the fact that we actually helped them out with, we became spokesperson. We took everybody's responsibility and made it our own. I think that is one of the reasons why all this are happening. And also, I really do not think that they understand how fundamental, entrenched, foundational Black American are in the construction of all of this. They don't understand. Black people have been going through it all. They think their life is worse or something, or they think Black people have it all. They think that Black people are all privileged and all that. African Americans are not privileged. Black people are not privileged. Descendants of slavery are not privileged. They do not have any privilege. I don't know how to scream this. I don't know how to say this. But the people that you all are screaming their name, you all are even screaming the wrong people's name. They are not privileged. This is really offensive, really. It is really offensive that they come out every day to think Black people are privileged. Black people go through what you people are going through. Worse. The truth that you all are even better because a lot of people jump into your own because of you guys. If it were to be happening to Black people, nobody will come out. Because you all already know that anti-blackness is a global something. Man, I am tired. See you all in my next day. Bye for now.